Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Now please, stay a while and listen. So we have Treasure Map Kid coming up here in OPTC starting from the 10th to the 14th. And we're going to take a look at his information, the teams to beat him, and just go from there. So let's see what he actually does. He boosts strength characters' attack by 3.75 and reduces crew's special burst by 2 times. So as a mono strength character, captain lead, he's not bad. You can team him up with super type Luffy if you'd like to, or even versus Kaido. I would imagine they work quite well together, but other than that, you have better choices for free-to-play teams in general. His actual special deals 100 times character's attack and strength damage to one enemy, and changes crew's tandem, RCV, and bomb, and unfavorable slots to character's own type. When the special is launched, if any character has bind status, that he gets an attack buff, or your crew gets an attack buff. Despair gives them an orb buff, and let's see, paralysis gives them an affinity buff. And it looks like they all stack. So this guy is looking pretty niche, but in the right circumstances, he can give you up to three buffs. So you won't see him in everyday content, but there will be some content coming from time to time where he will be very useful. But when it comes to general use, he's just kind of meh. But regardless, you know, he's just kind of a side bonus. We're here to farm the points, to get the limit break materials, all the good stuff. So let's go to Treasure Map Crew to see what we're actually going to be facing. First we have Choppermon. He is Int. And let's look at the quest guide. Let's see what he does. So his preemptive is only 2 turns of crewmate special bind, which Usopp can get rid of, the free-to-play Usopp, and then delay immunity. And it recommends super type Luffy as well, the free-to-play Psy type. So I just put together Psy types of the Straw Hats. They're all free-to-play, easy to get, and we'll take care of this content beautifully. If you want to use any other Psy type, you are free to do so. This is just, you know, one of the most free-to-play friendly teams that I could find. So we'll move on to Int Hyogoro. And what he does, it's recommended that we bring Jinbei along, TM Jinbei, is that he will become a Dex or an Int type. So it looks like it varies in randoms depending on actually pretty much nothing. He'll just randomly become one of them. So you kind of want to bring a strength/Psy character, and that instantly reminds me of Sanji and Luffy, so they might be good for this. 5 turns of Top Row Despair, and that's all we have besides the delay immunity. So I am bringing Sanji and Luffy, just to switch between the 2 types that he might become and have affinity against it. And besides that, we just have Jinbei as the recommended character. You can literally throw anybody else that you want on this team and you'll be good to go. To handle the Despair, you can do one of 2 things. If you are running a Luffy unit, you can run Support Rayleigh, and he will get rid of the 2 remaining turns of Despair. Or you can, if you're running a friend, Sanji Luffy, you can just switch between them and they'll get rid of the Despair. Between the 1 turn each of them switching, so that'll be 2 turns. And then the rest of the units here filling out are just basic TM boosters. The 3rd stage here is Sai Okiku. Let's see what she does. We have, what is that, Kazuna Kid on here as a recommended character. But I was looking through the list earlier, and I do not believe he's actually boosted on the TM, so I have no idea why he's recommended. I believe he most likely was boosted on the Japanese version, but he kind of got the shaft here. As well as TM Pudding, who I do believe is boosted, but she's not boosted as strongly as she was on the TM Kid that Japan got before we did. Well, regardless of that, the preemptive will be special reverse by 1 turn, 3 turns of defense times 1000, and 3 turns of resilience and delay immunity. So I'm just running mostly a mono type team with Halloween Law. I have Psy type Whole Cake Island Nami here because she can get rid of the well, she can boost your specials, so when they do get rewound, she'll be able to fix that issue. And she resists it herself, so she'll be able to launch that the turn it happens. And I couldn't find an Int type that would fit this team that could actually do the same thing she does, unfortunately. So I'm just running with her for now. But for the defense up, we have Raid Carrot, who gets rid of 3 turns of it and buffs our entire team's attack by up to 2.25 depending on how many times you can launch the specials. And then Neptune will get rid of the resilience, as well as greatly weakening that defense. I mean, I think you could bring a unit that can actually has a boost against defense lowered units, but I don't think it's 100% necessary even if you could. And then we just have Otama here from the Big Mom and Kaido brawl, and she's just there as a filler just for the TM points. But realistically, you could bring pretty much any pro int team and they'll be able to squash this content. We have Kamazo here, who is actually a side type in the quest. It looks like Shanks is recommended, which is odd because Shanks has nothing to do with the preemptive abilities on this unit, so I have no idea why he's boosted. Well, regardless, for the preemptive we have Strength, Dex, and Quick slots will be attributed to our slots randomly, unless they're ordered by Strength, Dex, and Quick from top to middle to bottom, but I don't know if it works that way. You have 5 turns of Paralysis and 5 turns of Top Row Bind. So basically the big issues here are going to be that Bind and Paralysis, which can be taken care of solely by Orochi. He's your go-to guy here. At least for me, he seems really simple to use. He does boost everybody on this team, I believe. Driven, Powerhouse, and Cerebral. Yeah, I believe that is everybody on the team. We have Drake here to give us 3 matching slots. I mean, you probably really don't need him, but, you know, having guaranteed slots is always nice. And then Shinobu, it's just there for the affinity bonus, and she does shuffle slots if they don't match, so she's also useful for that as well. And then everybody else here is just kind of filler for the TM points. If you don't have Big Mom, like any int captain would be great. If you have like Halloween Mihawk, Halloween Law. I mean, they only boost int though, but you could make a team where you just have Orochi as the only non-int unit, and you would still be just fine, because I don't believe they require 6 int units to get their captain effect. And then finally we have Kid here, who himself is Dex, and the 3 new TM boosters are recommended, of course, and then Kaido himself. Let's see, for the preemptive on Battle 4, he'll set all the slots to block, 4 turns of burn, and 4 turns of reduced damage taken by 80%. And then for the final battle, slots will be attributed to block, 5 turns of attack down, and 3 turns of chain multiplier growth rate reduced to only 0.1, which is pretty low. So for that, I actually am bringing TM Niwatori, actually, who was actually a booster a couple TMs ago, who will actually get rid of just enough turns of that chain multiplier growth rate reduction. So he's a good choice, but he's not the only choice. I'm just bringing him just because he's strength. That's the only reason. But anybody else, like Capone, can get rid of it as well, the Whole Cake Island Capone. So there are other choices if you don't have this guy. Let's see, so the entire Versus batch is basically kind of geared to taking on this guy. So I was able to pull all of them, so I am using them. But really, you just need units that can get rid of the attack down, the burn, and the rainbow shield, and you'll be good to go. Bringing a friend Kaido would be really good too, as well, since he does help with the block slots. So, I mean, it's really not a tough boss. So, if you get a friend Kaido, you're good to go. Get a unit to get rid of that chain reduction is good to go, and just anyone that can get rid of burn and damage reduction. And there are plenty of units that do that. The intrusion is Raizo, who is a Psy type, and Big Mom is recommended as well as the new boosted units. The preemptive is Strength Int type reduction, special charge by 10 turns. So you want to bring those 2 types to the battle. The preemptive for Battle 2, let's see, we switch slots to RCB and T&D. 5 turns of Top Row Bind, 5 turns to remove sound effects, which isn't too bad, even if you can't get rid of it. If you've played with your units for long enough, you'll know their timings anyways. And then 5 turns of Special Bind. So Special Bind and Top Bind are the big ones here. Let's see, Battle 3, preemptive. Slots will be changed to so basically the same as Battle 2 with the slot change. Then you get your set multiplier to 1.1 for 3 turns, which is pretty bad. 2 turns of a tap timing barrier for perfect. And then we have 5 turns of damage over percentage debuff. So, let's see, over 199% reduction. Jeez. So we can get rid of that with the Brawl Otama that just came out. She'll get rid of all 5 turns of that, and she'll give you an affinity boost to your team. So I think she's a pretty prime choice for that. Jack gives you an ore boost, and I believe he takes care of the bind. And then the chain reduction boost will get taken care of by Capone here. Once again, he's interchangeable. I think there's like 2 or 3 other chain reducers in this TM, so you should be good to go. I believe there's actually a free-to-play one. And then, let's see, what does I think he has Burn, right? No, King will take care of the remove special effects. Okay, and the special bind as well on Battle 2. So if you have King, he's pretty prime. I don't think there's anybody else, sadly, that gets rid of both those debuffs, but if you can just get through the tap timing, and you don't really have to remove the sound effects, it's not that big of a deal. Maybe at like higher, like really high levels, like whale levels of treasure map, like, you know, 90 plus, you'd have to worry about that, but most people aren't gonna go that high nowadays, especially with the rewards that we have. So these are the teams I'm running. If you have any questions, any suggestions for replacements on teams, just please let me know. Once again, I appreciate you guys stopping by and watching the video, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.